Life Academy would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we record this podcast on.
Trigger warning for this episode, we discuss adult themes, body image, diet culture, and it contains some coarse language, so please be aware if you have little ears around.
Hello and welcome to Life Academy. I am your host, Alicia Bannett, and today...
I am your replacement. Wow, that's a good start.
Good start.
That's it. Bye, guys. This is why I don't have a podcast. I am your replacement co-host, Ariel Kaplan.
Welcome, Ari. Thank you so much for filling in for our darling Dena. As we have spoken about last week, we are very heavily in our poo era, and Dena was sort of getting over gastro last week, and now she's copped another round.
I think she's just I feel like I was saying, having kids is just a constant state of poo era. Like from morning to night for at least the first 8 years. Yeah, she's been better. And I said to Dena, like, I've obviously listened to the podcast, always wanted to come on, and I was like, you just let me know a few days in advance because your girl is very husky from my job, which we'll get into later. And I was like, just give me a few days and then I can like be on vocal rest and I can be ready. 2 hours. She's like, can you get to the studio? And I was like, I sound like I smoke a pack a day.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's my time. I'm ready to be called up. Let's go.
But it is kind of sexy and I am kind of loving it. And I'm going to say our listeners will probably also...
It can go one of two ways. You either love it or hate it, but you're stuck with me. So it's better than Dena's vomit. So
I honestly think that is way better than Dena's vomit. I just want to say as well that Isla says to say hi.
The love of my life, honestly. I pride myself on how much I love my niece and nephews, and Isla is like right there with them.
She's one of them.
I've never met a more polite, gorgeous child. I replayed the video you posted. I think you guys spoke about it when you're talking to the camera. She goes, Mummy, can I say hi to everyone? I died. I sent it to everyone I know. I was like, look at this. This is my dream child.
She's pretty special.
I was kind of hoping she'd make a guest appearance. I feel like one day you have to have the girls on.
I think honestly we have to. And even like Zach today said, why don't you take Isla on as well? Like, she'd be fun.
No offense, Dena. Can't have a better replacement than Dena. I would sooner listen to Isla.
No, you are the best replacement. Thank you so much for filling in for Dee.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, let me ask, how are you? How's the past week for you been? This is how we usually start.
Yeah,
What's going on in your world?
I'm really good. I work full time in fitness. So my life is a little different in terms of hours. Like I work really early mornings and then nights and sort of have the day to myself, which it takes a bit to get used to, but I really love it now because it means I get a nap most days, which is what life is about.
Oh my.
Until I have children. So I'm enjoying that while that lasts.
I didn't want to be that person that would jump in and be like, wait till you have kids.
No,
but like
I've what's the whole thing, nap when they nap? I will be that girl. So yeah, I'm really good. My husband, which still feels really weird to say.
It's so sweet.
I know. We got married in January and it's still like, I feel like we're playing like mum and dad. Like I feel weird saying husband still, but we're looking for a house at the moment. So like real adult shit. We're going to an auction tomorrow. So like a lot of our time at the moment is spent like going to houses, you know,
are you
speaking
planning
with
on
banks.
Bidding?
Yes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
manifesting, touching
all
wood.
of the wood.
So we're not in any rush. Like we're really fortunate we can stay where we are for as long as we want. But yeah, that's kind of the focus at the moment. And then, my life is unlike Dena's where like every day is a bit different and like like Dena's no drafts Dena. I'm like 85 drafts, Ari. Like every day of my life is scheduled and planned and routined and I love it that way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's really good. I think I'm in between you and Dena.
I feel like Gemma's a bit like that.
Yeah, okay. Wow, you're more than Gemma?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Gemma's definitely more like neat, tidy, OCD tendencies in that way. But like when it comes to routine and like no one fucks with my routine. Like Ari does what she does. That's why I can't have kids yet. Because I'm like,
I was going to say, I'm still not going to say it. Just wait till you have kids.
I can't do it yet because I'm still too selfish. Like I love my life and I love that every moment is planned to the second in the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
Which doesn't last forever. But
no, but I think by the time that you decide to have kids, like then you'll be ready and you'll probably be willing to like, change your routine and do what you've got to do.
Yeah.
And you can still have routine with a kid, but it would just most likely go awry.
Yeah, you just got to be more lenient. And I would say like leniency, relaxed, laid back is like the last three things people would use to describe me. But as I get older, I'm getting better. And when I'm around the kids, I'm so different. Like I feel like time just sort of escapes me, especially with Maya at that age. Like I can just hang out with her for hours and then I'm like, oh my God, like I've lost track of time. So I'm sure I will get better.
The love that you have for your kid kind of like blurs
overrides
everything else. And it is a whole scientific thing. Like your brain completely rewires when you fall pregnant and all the hormones that start to flood your body and your brain. There's like new neural pathways that start to form and there's like a whole part of your brain that gets shut off so that you focus solely on like your baby and keeping them alive. Well, it's not, sorry, I'm probably misspeaking there. I don't think actually like, completely shuts off. I don't know any better, so
just
but like
got half a brain left.
But there is something like there's a different part of your brain that starts to work over time compared to Google it. It's
honestly, this is good news for me because every day of my life, as I get older and you start thinking about like house and kids, I'm like, wait, so like I can't work out 3 times a day? Like what's going to happen? But it's good if I have half the brain, I'll only have to work out 1.5 times a day and then it'll be fine.
You'll be absolutely fine.
I'm so chilled. How's your week been, babe?
It's been good. It's been sickness-free, which is
miracle,
an absolute miracle. It's definitely like, you know, when you kind of get out of the sickness and you're like, shit, I've got energy. Like I feel good. I've been feeling on top of the world.
Yeah.
But I've today woke up and I was like, I feel like I'm starting to fight something off.
No, stay away.
I went to the chemist and I have bought something called Armour Force, which
you're saying that like you've never heard of Armour Force.
Well, everyone has been telling me to.
It's a miracle.
Okay, well, see, this is the thing, right? This is why I've been sick the entire winter because I've not been taking Armour Force. My only issue is though, Ari,
you don't like taking tablets.
I cannot take tablets.
I feel like I knew this about you, and honestly,
everyone knows as well.
I get it. And Armour Force is one of those things where it's preventative. So like if you remember to take it, great. But I'm one of those people like until I'm sick or until I'm injured, like I don't deal with it. So I'm like, Armour Force is amazing. But by the time I'm like, oh, I need Armour Force, I'm too far down
Too far gone.
But it is actually amazing. I can't explain this while on camera because it will look weird, but I will give you tips for swallowing because I'm really bad.
Thank you so much.
I'm really, really bad at swallowing tablets. And as I got
older,
really bad. So as I got older, I found ways to do it.
Great.
But yeah, I won't.
You're not gonna
Not on my first podcast. I'll save that for my second.
Love that. Thank you. Fabulous. Because I'm excited to start my journey with Armour Force because I really don't want to be sick anymore. And I'm going to get my mum onto it and my dad onto it. Zach hasn't been sick as much, but like I wish is there a baby version or a kid version of Armour Force?
You're asking the girl who doesn't have
kids.
I feel like
you know things.
But I feel like Armour Force is natural. So like if you could get it into a form where kids could take it, like if you could squeeze it between the spoons and put it in the ice cream.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about Armour Force. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure like it's like echinacea and like all natural things.
Yeah.
Like olive leaf and
extract,
all of that stuff where you're like, I don't know what it does, but it helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually really does work. Our family, like Dena is always sick, like and now especially with a kid.
Maya,
And I'm really lucky. Like I only get colds. Like I never get anything else. And it's purely from the environment I work in. Like I'm working with like 300 people a day minimum. Yeah. And like sweating and touching and like it's gross and yuck. So but I'm really lucky. Like I'll be sick for 2 days and then I'm better. I never take it that seriously. But on the times I have taken Armour Force, I have noticed a difference. Maybe a sponsorship coming up for Alicia.
Thank you.
The new ambassador of Armour Force.
That'd be great. Sponsor the pod.
There you go. Your new collaboration.
That'd be fab. If it works. I'm hoping it works for
does.
me. I'm hoping I can take the tablets and that. Yeah. And because I'm also a sensitive stomach gal and I don't know if that's going to affect my tummy, my tum-tum.
Look, the joys of being a woman.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice? Just if one
Really
thing isn't
fun.
messed up, the other is.
Yeah,
Love
exactly.
it.
So it's, anyway, poo era, all that.
Love it.
So, but I really want to get into asking you about your life because you have had a life, Ari. I want to start by saying that how old were you when you were in your very first musical, which was Oliver?
Yeah, so my first professional show was when I was 7, which is at the time felt really normal. Like that just felt like a thing
Totally
that 7-year-olds did.
Yeah.
And now in hindsight, like I look at my nephews and they're older than 7 and I'm like,
Could
wait,
never imagine.
you're a fetus. Like how did I get on stage in front of thousands of people? And it just never seemed to bother me. Like,
Yeah.
and it was never mum or dad being like, you should do this. I was just
It was
adamant
in you.
that I was doing it.
I think also watching both of your sisters who were dancers and singers and performers do it. It was just your world.
And that's the thing, like they were already dancing and singing and obviously Gemma was like this amazing singer and Dena was phenomenal dancer and we all did all of them. And none of us were in the industry yet. Like none of us had agents or anything. It was an open call in the newspaper and my mum saw it. I remember the day, like we were lying in bed and my mum saw it. She was like, oh, there's an open call for Oliver the Musical. And I was like, well, let's go. And she was like, no, babe. She was like, no, honey, like this is for like people who are taking it seriously. And I was like, yeah. And so it was at Rod Laver Arena. I was like number 4,000 something in line. We got there. Mum was like, please, like I'll do anything. Can we just go home? And everyone had to sing 2 lines of Consider Yourself. And Ari being—
Consider yourself.
That's it. I would sing that, but you don't want to hear that. And yeah, I was like, no, Mum, I'm going to get it. Like just
You were
blind
just
child
so
confidence.
sure. Yeah.
She was like, Ari, look around. Like, you're brilliant. I believe in you. You're not going to get it. Like, let's be honest. And I have no idea how, but like got through all the rounds and got the role. And that's sort of where like changed the trajectory of my life. Like, I don't know what, if that hadn't happened when I would have got into it or when we've all would have signed with the same agency and
For sure.
I sort of like got the ball rolling. But yeah, now in hindsight, I'm like, that's absolutely bonkers. But it was totally up to me.
Yeah. And it would have been so fun too. I remember like anything to do with outside of school for me when I was younger, I was like, oh, this is special, like any performances. I remember desperately wanting to audition for The Wizard of Oz.
Which was just before Oliver.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of the kids that were on Oliver had just come from Wizard of Oz. They all knew each other from there.
Right, yeah. So I so desperately, and I was auditioning for like these little munchkins, or there was like little kids within the munchkin world that were these little flowers or something, and I was definitely too tall at the time.
Sucks to suck. Some of us don't have that problem. Still don't have, I could probably still play the role.
Well, we're probably about the same height actually. I'm way shorter now than what I was. Like
What do you mean you shrunk?
Yes, because I also I have scoliosis.
Oh no, I feel bad. Being like, babe, you're a bit young to shrink.
And it's like there's a good couple of centimeters from when I was, I don't know, 20 to now.
How tall are you now?
161 and I used to be 163.
Well, if it makes you feel better, you're still 5 centimeters taller than me.
Fabulous.
So,
okay.
You know, you still
Are
got
you
a
the
little—
shortest out of all your sisters?
Yeah. I think Dena's like 2 centimeters taller than me and Jen was like 1 centimeter taller. But, you know,
all short
I make
queens.
up for it in attitudes.
That is it.
Amen.
And then so you were 7 when you did Oliver, and then did you go straight into Lion King after that?
No, there was a couple of years where I did a little more amateur theatre. So I fell in love with being on stage, wanted to get a bit more experience. I did like The Sound of Music. I did Annie, like every kid show you can think of. Yeah. And then Lion King was probably when I was about 10 or 11. Dena had already been cast.
Okay, amazing.
So Dena was already in the cast in
Child
Sydney.
prodigy, was not old enough to be in the show.
Typical Dena.
In the what do they call it? The ensemble.
Yeah.
But she's
Disney breaks the rules because she's that good.
Of course.
And I remember mum or like my agent sending me the audition, and it was, again, in hindsight, crazy, like lots of rounds. And then we did a thing called Cub School, which is 2 weeks of every day they would bring us in. There was like, started with probably 30 kids. And
this was in the audition process?
And then every day, like a parent would get a call and be like, you don't need to come back the next day. And we'd like walk up in the morning and be like, well, who didn't make it? Like it was nowadays that would never fly. Like it's just so savage on kids.
Yeah.
But I mean, I loved it. I'm definitely the most competitive out of the sisters. Like I love a challenge. I love to not so much competitive with other people, but like I want to be the best in myself. So I love that, and eventually, ended up getting young Nala, which was the craziest, coolest experience.
So incredible.
Because Dena and I got to do it together in Melbourne, and then we travelled over to China and did it in Shanghai together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I often, like, I don't think about these things, and as an adult now I look back and I'm like, that's so
Crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I peaked way too soon.
I wouldn't say you peaked back then at all. But
No.
I mean, it's a very cool time in your life. How many Nalas were there?
There was 4 of us.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Because that's actually right when the child working, whatever it's called, laws came in, where you could only work 2 shows a week and then we'd be on standby 2 shows a week. So you'd be at the theatre. If anything went wrong, if someone got injured, you'd step in. But
did that ever happen?
once a girl got lice and with 500 wigs in that show, it's a nightmare. So I went on once, and then I think another time a girl got sick. It was always before the show though, never during.
Yeah.
But the standby days were the most fun. We'd just sit in the green room and sing and dance, and the boys would play in the Game Boys.
I love that they were the most fun ones.
Oh yeah, I mean being on stage was really fun too, but like you're being paid to just sit.
Did you do it with Bobby Antonov when he was Simba?
Bobby was the love of my life for like a solid 2 years.
He was like, I remember I'd never felt more emotion from anyone singing than when he did. Like he was at my dance school. Yeah, he sang the prayer, and I was bawling. I must have been maybe 15 or 16, and like absolutely bawling my eyes out. And I was like, what is happening to me?
He's beyond talented.
His voice is phenomenal.
I'm so happy he's still doing music, because I'm like, if you weren't, that would be such a waste.
He's just had a baby.
Has he actually?
Yep.
See, do you know what's so funny? Like, I've grown up, I'm at the age where people are having babies. In my head, Bobby's still 12. And I'm like, oh.
Sorry?
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Bobby was, I think, like my first boyfriend. Like, I'm pretty sure we held hands.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I was obsessed with him.
Oh, I love that.
And we sung the prayer together. I definitely should not have done it, because
Shouldn't have
one
sung
of
the
us
prayer.
probably could have handled it on our own. Me singing the Italian bit, like, no sis.
Oh, bless you.
But yeah, we did the show together, and there was 8 of us. I think a lot of them are still performing, which is so cool. A lot of them are still in theatre. I think I'm maybe the only one that then went into TV, but I could be wrong. But yeah, an incredible experience. Like,
so much fun.
Life-changing. Was Summer Heights High your first role, or did you start even younger than that?
I started younger than that. My very first acting role was when I was like 5.
Okay, well, no need to show off.
5 or 6
I thought
or something.
7 was cool.
No.
What did you do?
That. I think the very first role that I got was an episode of Halifax FP, and
I've heard of that before.
it's super old school. I think they might have brought it back a few years ago. It was with Rebecca Gibney, and I played a younger version of her.
Pop off, claim to fame.
Yeah,
I can kind of see that.
But let me tell you that the scene got cut. So it never went to air.
You know what? All the best actors have been there.
But I nailed it anyway, I'm sure of it.
I have no doubt. They probably didn't want you to upstage Rebecca Gibney.
That's honestly, that
probably
would
what
be
it
why.
was.
Yeah. I can't have the 5-year-old upstaging this incredible actress. No way.
Well, then I think I still win, because you didn't go to air. There's that competitive nature coming
because then my next one, I might have been like 6 or 7, but the next one was a movie called Dead Letter Office, and I played a younger version of Miranda Otto.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, and that did go to air. Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so yet to be decided. No,
Go
that's
watch it, it's
epic.
great.
So you were so young. So you get it.
Super
Like,
young. Yeah.
do you also look back and go, wait, how did I do that at that age? Like, do you look at either and you're like, in a few years,
She could
5 years.
Right now she could be on a set.
Yeah,
honestly.
to be fair, I was probably not the right choice. She could absolutely run the show right now.
She could. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where like it felt normal. It was just like it's where I belonged.
Totally.
It was fun, and I think especially back then, like I didn't have a care in the world what people thought about me. So I was like there and loud and obnoxious and like loving life on set. Didn't care. It was just.
It's that
fun.
blind confidence as a kid, isn't it? Like, I just never second guessed if I was good enough or
Yeah,
Like
no.
I was like, yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Like,
I belong here.
and even if I didn't, like I believed in, I think it's such a display of like, if you think you're good enough, everyone else will. Like I think as we get older, we start to question ourselves and we lose confidence and we get like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Whereas if we just blindly had faith in ourselves, I think a lot of other people probably would too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
think that's what you see, like, some of the biggest stars, and they just genuinely have no filter whatsoever. And it's like, you just do not care what people think about you.
And it's such an Australian thing to not be like that.
We've spoken about this before, the tall poppy syndrome. Yeah.
We're trained to like talk yourself down. And I'm sure you had the same thing when I went to LA. I think we both didn't love LA.
Yeah.
I didn't stay there nearly as long because I couldn't wait to get out.
Yeah.
And I would find myself in audition rooms and like I was kind of envious of how Americans or, you know, the actors there would just be like, oh yeah, like I'm amazing.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh.
And you'd ask
I'm
people
not.
who have never been on a set before, it's like, what do you do? Oh, I'm an actor. Oh, what have you done? Oh, no, nothing.
But I'm an actor.
But I'm an actor.
Yeah.
Like I was mind
How
blown
do
by
you?
that.
Like
yeah,
I
was just
respect that.
like, okay,
Yeah.
you're an actor.
But I
Cool.
do think like if I hadn't done all that acting at a young age, like I'm not sure if as an adult I would have found it because I got less and less confident as I got older. So the fact that I was already in the industry is probably the reason I stayed in it so long.
For sure.
Whereas if I'd started as a teenager or an
yeah,
adult,
no.
I don't know if I would have had the guts.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
So okay, you went, how old were you, with Lion King?
Like 10 to 13, it was quite a long time.
Yeah, okay. That's amazing. My God.
Yeah.
And then how old were you when you got Saddle Club?
Saddle Club was pretty soon after. So finished up Lion King, moved back to Australia, and then probably a year later, I'd say I was like, I want to explore TV a little more. I loved theatre, but I also had, even at that age, kind of decided, I'd seen Gemma, like she took musical theatre really seriously. She was going to go to WAPA, all this stuff. And I was like, that's not really what I want to do. Like I loved singing and dancing, but I was never the best at it. Like I was always sort of middle. We always say like Dena's the best dancer, Gemma's the best singer. We can all kind of act. And I was like the second best at singing or dancing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, I don't love them enough to devote my life. And so I was like, maybe I'd love to try TV. And I'm sure I did lots of auditions beforehand, but yeah, ended up auditioning for Saddle Club, knew of the show, grew up with the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I was obsessed with the Saddle Club when I was younger. And then I actually met the very first Lisa.
Lara.
And and she's one of my dearest friends now.
Who do you like better?
I'm not going to say
No, I'm joking.
Ari.
I've actually heard she's so lovely.
She's the most
Hard
beautiful
shoes to fill.
person. And I mean, she did a phenomenal job with the role.
Yeah.
And massive following obviously already with Saddle Club. So big shoes to fill. But I think you absolutely nailed it.
Look, I don't know about that. It was my first TV role and I was showing it to Maya the other day. And I'm sure,
Wait, where
she
can
loved
I watch it?
It's on, where did we watch it? On Binge, I think, the whole thing. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, actually. Cut that out.
So excited.
Because Maya's obsessed with horses and I was like,
cute.
Dance Academy's great. It's a little bit too old for her still. Like she does, there's not enough fun going on, not enough animals.
Isla actually loves Dance
Well, we've been
Academy.
over this. Isla is 48 years old, stuck in a 3-year-old's body.
She literally sits there and like every time the ballet comes on, she's like, oh, mummy ballet.
Dena showed me a video of her doing like a coupe. Like she's got like ballet inside her. Like
She's
can tell.
in a past life or something. She's done ballet because she knows what to do. It's crazy.
Good luck, babe. You're in for
Thank
a treat
you.
with that one.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
So Saddle Club, I got Saddle Club and it was pretty stressful, I think, coming in as a third season and taking over existing characters. I think when you come in and it's new roles, it's different. But people had grown up with this show.
Yeah.
I'd seen it. I wasn't like a horsey girl. Like I was a very city girl. So I didn't know how obsessed people were.
Yeah.
But I had an amazing time. Watching back, I'm like, ooh, could have worked on that acting a little more, but we were 12, like, you know.
That's it. You were a child.
And it was an amazing experience. Made some really beautiful friends. Like we lived out in Dalesford filming for a
it was
year.
beautiful out there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with TV and the lifestyle of, I'm really like, I've always not been such a night owl. I love sleep. I love going to bed early and waking up a bit earlier. So TV suits me much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I fell in love with it. And from there, it sort of shifted my focus. I was still open to musicals and I ended up doing a few after, but I was like, wow, I can see like a more long-term career in TV for the lifestyle I want. And yeah, it was an incredible experience, like to ride horses all day and hang out with your friends. Like life's pretty great.
Life's pretty great.
Yeah.
And so you kind of fell in love with horses too, didn't you?
Love.
Yeah.
And still like I'm obsessed with animals.
Yeah.
I don't ride horses as much anymore living in the city, but like whenever I can do a trail ride or like I feel a deep passion for horses. Like I just think them and dogs, I just think are the most
special.
Incredible animals.
Yeah.
And I feel like my whole family, like, especially like Gemma as well, like we just love animals. So that sort of introduced me to that, made me a bit more of a country girl, maybe slightly. Couldn't wait to get back into at the end of every week, we'd come back into Melbourne, like to go home to our families. And I was like, oh, cars, traffic. At heart, I'm a real Melbourne girl.
Yeah, definitely a city girl at heart.
Did you grow up with horses? Is that why you like Saddle Club?
Well, no, Saddle Club got me obsessed with horses. Yeah, I was I'm like, oh my God. Me and my best friend in primary school, Amelia, we would like sit down at lunchtime. We had our little diaries and we'd like draw horses all lunchtime.
Real
I would
horsey
like
girls.
dream of being on
Was
the Saddle
Stevie
Club.
your favourite?
Stevie was my favourite.
Everyone's favourite is the one they look like.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
If it's a brunette,
then
your
it would have
favourite's
been,
Lisa.
100%. So yeah, I was obsessed with Saddle Club. I was obsessed with horses, desperately wanted to do horse riding lessons.
Yeah.
However, I was terrified of horses.
And honestly, so valid. Again, one of those things as a kid, like a lot of the cast had ridden horses to an extent. I'd never been on a horse and I was like really upfront about that in the audition because I just think there's nothing worse than getting a role and then being like, sorry, I actually can't do that.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn from scratch. And
so you got the role even with saying to them like, can't ride horses, kind of scared of them.
I didn't say scared of them, but I was like, I think I'd sat on one once in like year 6 camp.
Yeah,
that was the extent. We had riding doubles and stunt doubles to do all the hard stuff. So like it wasn't so much of an issue. But yeah, they taught us everything. And at that point I was just like, I think I was definitely scared at times. But again, now if you were like, I'd never been on a horse, go learn to horse ride, I'd be like, peace out. Find someone else. You know what I mean? Like
catch you later.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
So it's that blind confidence thing again. But absolutely fell in love with it and worked on that for ages because we filmed and then we released an album because a lot of the Saddle Club is singing.
That's right.
And then we toured the album all over America.
America?
Yeah.
Are you joking
So we performed at like all the Texas horse shows and like
my God.
in the shopping centers. Like,
stop it.
Again, it's one of those things I look back, I'm like, I forgot that I did that. That's like in the middle of like these huge arenas with these like horse like racing things and it was a whole experience.
And then meanwhile, you're like also still still at school. Were you doing homeschooling, right?
Yeah, so I think about 6 months into Saddle Club, or maybe it was just before I started, we sort of worked out that I wasn't going to be getting the education I need by, going to school a few days where I could. And I was at a very academic school and we decided that I would do distance education. So it's like homeschooling, except I couldn't cope with my parents teaching me and I don't think they could cope with it either.
Yeah.
So like you've got teachers and you just do all the work online, like everything you would do. I did VC the whole way through year 11 and 12. I worked my butt off because again, like I have to be do my best or I like can't cope in life.
Did your best. Dena gave me a little tidbit that you got ducks of like all homeschooling or something?
Of distance education. It's not like getting ducks of like our old school where like the ducks is 99.99. But yeah, I got a score I was really happy with.
Huge.
Especially considering I was like, I got the score and I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I'm not going to uni.
Not doing anything with it.
Why did I work so hard for this?
Bless you.
But I was proud and like for me that's a big like thing throughout my life is like giving my best just to know that I did that. Yeah. Not for like the outcome if I don't get the role, if I don't get the best score, like I can live with that as long as I know I gave everything.
Yeah.
I feel like you're a bit like that. I feel like we're both very hard workers.
Yeah, I think at this stage, especially at this stage of my life, I just don't stop. Like I kind of have plans and things that I want to do. And I'm like, okay, if I do this next thing and then this next thing and this next thing, then I'm going to achieve the goal. And majority of the time I don't achieve the goals, but I still keep going. So I think it's a good thing that I'm motivated to keep trying.
Self-motivation, like a lot of people aren't that way.
Yeah.
I've realized as an adult, like a lot of people rely on external, reasons or people to motivate them. And like people often ask me, like with distance education, like how did you make yourself do it? And I was like, I just did. Like it had to be done and I wanted to finish school. So put 2 and 2 together, you've got to do the work. Or,
with schooling, I certainly did not give a flying fuck.
You didn't care,
I didn't care. But in every other aspect of my life. Yeah.
You knew what you wanted to do and that wasn't going to get you there.
When I was at VCAS, I worked my butt off. But again, not necessarily in the academic side, for sure, in the dance side. And then with the high school that I ended up going to after VCAS was they just did not they didn't help with anything I was doing. Like if I was having time off school to film anything, like I was filming a show called As the Bell Rings. There was
I remember As the Bell Rings.
As the Bell Rings, right? There was 2 or 3 other kids that went to a school close to where I was, and like all of their teachers and the principal of the school like helping them out, making sure that if they'd missed any homework or any schoolwork, like it was all just we just fostered all the wonderful things. And then my school was like, oh, you didn't do your holiday homework? Then you're suspended. And like I was filming every single day of the holidays, got to the weekends and my parents were like, just be a kid, have a rest for the weekend. Like don't worry about your homework because you're working your butt off, waking up at 4 a.m. every day, getting home at 6 p.m. Like, live.
It's like, what are these schools trying to achieve? Like obviously you knew that
what you wanted to do.
You were already doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I sort of felt that way in acting school. Like after school I went to an acting school and I really didn't love it. Mm-hmm. Like I think I'm a little bit too, I don't want to say cynical, but like I'm not like an actor's actor. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
the
method.
Craft.
No. Like for me, I'm like, I don't want to read a book about acting. I don't want to pretend I'm an animal for a week.
Yeah,
for me, I
did some of that.
Yeah. Give me a script. I'll learn it. I'll feel it and then I'll perform it and then you say cut and I'm me again.
Yeah.
And I felt like at acting school, like if you didn't do things exactly the way they wanted it, it was like, well, don't bother then.
Yeah.
Whereas like I'm like at school and at acting school, like maybe if we like respected that people have different ways of going about things or people have different passions, like it might get us somewhere.
Yeah.
But I totally feel I was listening to the episode Dena and Gemma did with Lael, I hope I said her name right, about how like kids don't sometimes fall under the radar.
Other passions.
The academic isn't their only thing.
Yeah.
And I hate that because I'm like, when you come out of school, how many jobs aren't academic that are hugely successful?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there should be space to celebrate, all achievements, not just like, what did you get on your VCE?
For sure, yeah. I think I remember reading or seeing a meme somewhere where it was like, don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Right?
Love.
Yeah. And it's kind of, that's what school is. Like there's so many different little animals in there and it's like they're all trying to get to the top of this tree.
It wasn't built to do it. Don't judge it on that.
So yeah, and I think it can be sad. So when I was going to school and, academically, I was like, I just don't care. Like I was good at English, but I didn't. Maths, I was like, that ain't
I think
that's
a common thread amongst us creatives.
Yeah.
Maths just ain't for us.
That's
what calculators are for, babes.
And honestly, I have not used A plus B equals C in my life at all. So
no. The closest thing I've come to maths is recently, like Dean and I have been like, that's Dean's my husband. I was like, we got to start budgeting.
Yeah.
For the first time in our lives. Ugh. But I'm like, I've got to like work out how much I can spend and what I have been spending. And I was like, this is the first time I think I've opened a calculator in 4 years. So,
to try and figure out what in the
So if you're
world.
struggling at school, guys, don't worry. You can do other things. Yeah.
I know that's one of the craziest things I think is just people putting in so much effort at school. Like actually, I'm not even going to tell that story. It's not worth telling because I'd like to continue on with your life. I would love to touch on as well. So you started Neighbours at what age?
I'm so bad again with numbers. I think I started Neighbours at 18.
Yeah, okay.
maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. It was around, I'd finished school.
Yep.
After school, I went to Europe for 6 months. I came back. I finished school at 17. I was a year younger. Came back, went to acting school. It was meant to be a year course. And then halfway through, I got Neighbours and left.
Okay.
So, yeah, about 18, I'd say. And I was on there for about 3.5 years.
Yeah, wow.
Which
Amazing.
was incredible. One of the best experiences of my life. I loved it.
So if you don't mind me asking and just touching on your story with mental health and your eating disorder.
Yeah.
Did that start for you, do you think, before Neighbours, and like how did that start to sort of manifest for you? And
it's such an interesting thing, and I think a lot of people who have or have had eating disorders would say the same thing. Like, you can't really pinpoint. It wasn't like I woke up one day, I was like, yeah, I've got anorexia. It was sort of, once I got back from Europe, as everyone does and should, put on a bit of weight, ate a lot of baguettes.
Yum.
And I got the role, and I was like, typical, I'm like, the camera puts on weight. I'd like to just like get a little bit slimmer. And at the start, it was super healthy. I got into exercise for the first time. You know, I was eating clean in quotation marks, as we called it back then.
Yeah.
And I started to lose a bit of weight, and you get the compliments, and you're like, well, that was easy. And it snowballed and snowballed. But once I got the role, I was still pretty, like, I was very thin, but I wasn't at, the depths of an eating disorder. I got the role, and I think the wheels had already been put in motion, but I was already sort of too far gone. And being on set and being in front of a camera and then watching myself back and seeing comments, and not that anyone ever was like, oh, she's fat, but, I'm a perfectionist. I'm type A, and in the same way that I always want to do my best, I was like, well, I should be my thinnest.
Right.
Like, that to me thin equaled best.
Yeah.
And it sort of snowballed. And then very unfortunately, it was absolutely not the show's fault. They had pre-written in that my character had an eating disorder.
Wow. I just got like the biggest tingles.
Yeah. So like really life imitating art to the nth degree. My character had bulimia, which I didn't suffer with, but you can imagine, like, I'd have a scene where my character would be stuffing Oreos in her face.
Yeah.
And as someone with an eating disorder, like, the whole time, I'm not even focusing on acting. I was like, I need a bucket to spit these out. Like, I can't swallow this. I can't.
Oh, gosh.
And it just got worse and worse to the point where, like, I'd get up at 3:30 a.m. so I could exercise for an hour and a half before, being on set all day, eating like now what I'd eat in one meal for the whole day. But to be honest, it's probably like a year that I was in the depths of it. And I say this all the time, like, I can't remember that year.
Wow.
Like, obviously, when you don't have food in your life, in your brain, in your stomach, you're not functioning properly. And it's as if, like, all my body could do was survive.
Yeah.
I have no memories. I don't remember being on set in that year. It's crazy. And all that mattered every moment, every day was, how much am I going to weigh when I get home? How much have I eaten today? How much do I have to burn so that I can, and I knew too late, but I knew that there was something wrong. I was educated enough to know that, like, normal people can go about their day without counting, one rice cracker.
Wow.
It was horrible. And
Did you feel physically sick and hungry, and like, do you remember the feeling of that? And you were just like, it doesn't matter. Like,
I think you lose hunger cues. Like, I definitely would have been hungry, but it's not about that. And it's also, when you start, it's about how you look. And very quickly for me was not about that. Like, I could look in the mirror and I didn't go, oh, I'm overweight. But it didn't matter because it was a control thing. And if I could eat a little bit less than I'd eaten the day before, like, hell yeah.
Wow.
Like, that was success.
Yeah.
Or if I could weigh less, even though I knew that I was significantly underweight, it was still a win.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, eating disorders are like two voices. So you've got, like, the voice that's like, you need to eat more, like, be proud of yourself, like, this is the right thing to do. And then you do it, and straight away there's this voice that goes like, oh, that's it. Like, who are you? You're useless. You're going to put on 4 kilos from that bite. Like, it's honestly, like, I'm very lucky. I haven't experienced a lot of other mental illness in my life, but I can't fathom how anything could be more horrible than an eating disorder. Like it was the most excruciating pain I've ever been in. And to the point where like to me, eating, you know, a piece of bread, I'd rather die. Like that was how bad it was. And thank God for my family, like for two sisters who were very aware what was going on, and incredible parents who were so supportive for getting me the help I needed, and really to Neighbours, because they sort of, on screen, I looked very, very sick, and it started to be concerning that people thought they'd told me to look like that for the role.
Right.
And they called me and they were like, whatever you need, like take the days off, go to therapy, let's have you only sitting in scenes. Like I couldn't even stand up like without getting dizzy. And they were like, but if you don't get better, like we can't have you on the show anymore. And like at the time I was like, they can't do that. Like, and now I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because suddenly my incentive was no longer how skinny can I be? It was like, how do I keep my job?
Wow.
And that's sort of how I started taking it seriously, because for a lot of months I was on an eating plan and I was saying I was trying really hard, but I was hiding food and doing extracts. Oh, yeah.
So you'd kind of like, people had started getting you help, your family and Neighbours had started getting you help, and you were still just like, no, I'm good. Like I'm gonna hide it all. Like
it's horrible. Like that's my biggest regret of those years is like the lying and the, you know, I was banned from going to the gym, obviously, because it's very dangerous. So like when mum would go out, I'd be in my bedroom like doing exercises, and then when she come home, I had to like pretend I wasn't sweating. Like it's, when I look back, like it's insane. Yeah. Like it's fully insane, but there's not a rational bone in your body at that point. It's like, it's life or death. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And people often say to me like, how did you get better? Like what changed? And in the same way, I don't know how it started. Like there's not a moment where I woke up and I went, okay, fine, I'll eat. Like it was months and months of struggling, and, you know, one day just eating one bite more and realizing like nothing bad happened. And I think at that point I also like found a relationship that made me really happy, and I had a new focus. But that's definitely not the answer like to cure an eating disorder. But I do think it stays with you your whole life. Like I will never have a normal relationship with food. Like I look at people who go out and eat what they want and exercise when they feel like it, and I'm like, whoa, like that is my dream.
Yeah, okay.
If I could wake up and have anything, I don't want millions of dollars. I want to wake up and just love my body and not put a thought into what I eat, or because
and with the recovery process compared to now as well, are the thoughts, you know, now when you're making yourself a meal or something, do you still have those thoughts of like, no, don't have that much, or is it
It's very different now. Like I'm aware of, I'll never be able to not know how many calories are in things, like because it's like ingrained in my brain, but I don't ever weigh food. I can eat every meal out. That used to be like, I could not, like you would not get me at a cafe if my life depended on it.
Yeah.
So food.
And you would weigh your food?
Oh, I used, like corn kernels, like 3, like it was like I wouldn't drink water because it would make me put on weight on the scales. Like fully psycho.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, couldn't be further from that. I'm so chilled with food. Like I would say I'm very healthy still, but also healthy in the way that like I eat treats every day. And like I'd say my obsession and perfectionism is a lot more with exercise now, which is more of a struggle for me. Like I struggle to take rest days.
Right.
I find like I don't use my watch to track workouts most of the time because numbers for me are still triggering.
Yep.
So I think in that way, like I would definitely say I'm not normal in terms of how much I exercise, but I also do it now for different reasons. I love it. It's my job now.
Yeah.
And I don't do it to get skinny or lose weight. So but there's definitely still like if I have a day off, Dean has to like sit me down and be like, it's okay.
You're good. You've got this.
Nothing bad's tomorrow, nothing's going to change. You can go back.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard for me to not do anything.
Yeah, okay.
But I think that's just also being type A, like doing the same thing every day.
And needing your schedule and your routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've listened to the episodes where you spoke about like being, when you were younger, you were so chilled about it. And then it wasn't until your later years that you started having that huge focus on food. Do you know what triggered you? Was that LA, do you think?
I don't think it was LA. I think it was actually losing weight and getting a body that got complimented for the very first time.
It's the compliments, isn't it?
It's the compliments, but it's also the thing of I put clothes on that, never used to really look good on me, and I was like, oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
And so then I was kind of like, because I just always thought that my body was the way that it was, and I'll, never necessarily have a body that I look at and go like, damn, like you've got muscles and this and that. And I was just sort of fine with it.
Indifferent.
And I just a bit indifferent. I didn't think about it. It wasn't a thing. And then, I actually lost weight due to, I had a whole bunch of anxiety and I just felt so nauseous and I couldn't eat for probably like a 2-week period. I had like very minimal food. And I would have lost probably like 5 kilos in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then, I just remember thinking like, okay, well, I know I can do it now. So then I was like, okay. And then I started, if I put weight back on, I was like, no. Like, I would stand on the scales. Yeah, I liked it better before. I liked the way I looked before. And then, I got into my cycle of like counting calories and skipping meals and going ketogenic and making sure that like what I was eating, it was like I wasn't losing weight if I was eating 500 calories a day, but if I ate 300 calories a day, then I would lose weight.
It's so crazy,
and it's like 300 calories a day, like that's less than a meal.
It's a snack.
It's a snack.
It's a protein bar. Yeah.
So, but I did the same thing. Like I would go and I'd do these hot Pilates workouts because I'd lose all this sweat and then I'd stand on the scales and be like,
nailed it.
I nailed it. Like that's the weight that I wanted to be at today, and tomorrow I'm going to try and lose that little bit more. And it was like week by week, I was like, there we go, getting back down. So I definitely, I have no idea what you would have gone through at all. I think it's
all like, it's all relevant to the person and relative to the person. Like, I often say that, like I've watched Dena struggles with mental health and I'm like, I'll never, be able to even understand the depths of what she's been through. But we all only know our level of pain. And
Absolutely.
For us, our 100 is different to someone else's 100. And any form of like body dysmorphia, eating disorder, which unfortunately, like I think there's very few women in my life that haven't gone through it. Like it just feels like it's part of our lives, which is so shit. Like why do we think that skinny looks better? Why do we think that?
Yeah, isn't it insane?
And I hate that I still feel that way. Like sometimes I'll see a photo of me and I'm like, ew, like I hate what I look like. And I'm like, Ari, people would, kill to look like that. We just have this warped idea of, I don't know if you're the same Dena, Gemma, and I always say like, we'll look back at photos 5 years ago and be like, oh my God, we looked amazing. But at the time I look back at photos 5 years before that and be like, no, I looked amazing then. Like you're never, if only we could just be happy with what we are now, because I know in 5 years, I'm sure I'll look back and be like, God, I wish I'd look like this now, post kids, and what I mean?
I've said exactly the same thing in one of these episodes where I was just like, and one of my major focuses is like needing to be like happy with myself in this moment. Because I do the same thing now. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, I could tone up more. And
that proves my point. Like people would die to look like you. Like, but we can't see it. And no matter how many times people tell you, and even when I was sick and people would say, but like, Ari, you look ill. And I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, oh, I kind of do. Cool. Like that.
So, as you said, it wasn't even about the way that you looked. Did you ever, when you were going through it, look at yourself and think like, oh, like I need to lose more weight or I need to put weight on? Or
I never thought I need to put weight on. I thought, oh, I look thin. And I was like, and I'm proud of that. It became my identity. Like I was the skinny girl. I was like, I wanted people to be like, oh, she okay? Which like crazy.
Yeah.
And then when I started getting better and people would be like, you look healthy, I'd be like, that is the worst thing you can say to someone. FYI, if someone has an eating disorder and they're in recovery, never tell them they look healthy.
Yeah.
Because what you think is a lovely compliment for me was like,
you look enormous.
So I look like I'm 4,000 kilograms. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Like that's what that meant to me.
Right.
And now as like a more rational, normal human, like someone says to me now, you look healthy. I'm like, oh, I'm like vibrant and glowing and you know what I mean?
It's just the different, like the story that you tell yourself in your head. Yeah.
Because healthy means that you're not sick anymore. And if you're not sick, then who are you? What's your identity? Like what makes you special or different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you were sort of then going through your recovery, did you get to a point where you sort of like had any relapses, or were you pretty like on a good
I was pretty
road?
good once I actually committed to getting better. I'm very lucky. A lot of people have eating disorders for their whole lives, some people. I was in a relationship. I was eating more. Then it was really hard because I put on, which is quite common, like a lot of weight really quickly, because when you starve your body like that,
it's going to hold on to everything.
Everything it gets, and you're ravenous, because once you start eating again, your metabolism starts. And that was really hard to do that while on screen, because I went in the period of like 3 months from heavily underweight to like the biggest I'd ever been.
Wow.
And, you know, that's when the comments come in, and like that was really brutal. Yeah. And that was really hard to not relapse then, because I was like, well, you all liked me better then. So.
Wow.
And I think the main thing that kept me going was I thought back to that point in my life, and I thought I did all that. I was miserable. I wanted to die. I hated my life. And all I thought was, if I keep getting skinnier, I'll get happier. And every time I got skinnier, I got more unhappy. Yeah. So I was like, so either I feel fat and happy, or I feel emaciated and deeply miserable. I was like, I know which one I pick. Yeah. And I remember one day I came into the green room, and Alan Fletcher, who plays Dr. Carl, an absolute legend, I was laughing, and he was like, Ari, I've never heard you laugh before. Oh. And I was like, what? Like, if you know me, like I don't shut up. Like, I'm always laughing and boisterous, and I'm like to think like I'm the life of the party sometimes. And he was like, no, I've never seen you smile. And that's when I realized like that past year, I'd not smiled. No. I'd not spoken to anyone. Like everyone, I'm fair enough, probably hated me. Like I walked in, I did my lines, and I got off set and went home. Like I had no friends on the show. But I'd just forgotten that because I'd erased it. And then like as I became myself, and they were like, oh my God, like we didn't even know this was who you were as a person. Yeah. So, and now still sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't like how I look. And I'll be like, and I've got the man of my dreams and my dream job and a healthy life and a beautiful family. And I'm like, and I still would rather that than being 5 kilos skinnier.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
And so let's get on to your dream job. Yeah. How did you find yourself in now, like letting go, I suppose, of the acting world, and have you let go of that and then moved in? Because I find it very hard to think of ever letting go of this acting industry that we're in.
It's like our identity.
Yeah.
100%. It was really hard for me because I don't know about you, like at school I was like the acting girl, and like especially coming from the Kaplan family, like where the performers. And sort of in recovery of my eating disorder, I realized that like I have a real passion for health. Like I wanted to show people that you could be healthy without taking it to the extreme I did. And I've always loved dance and movement. And so I started going back to exercise and like finding how I could do it for the right reasons. And while I was in my last year, I think on set, I did my certification in fitness while I was just had a lot of time in the green room. And I was like, I don't know if I'll ever use this, but I was like, I hate being stagnant and like sitting in a green room and doing nothing. So I was like, I may as well study something I love. And then after the show, I just wanted a break from acting. I'd been acting since I was 7. Yeah. And I just like, I wanted to sleep in. I wanted to go on a holiday. I wanted to not be exhausted all the time. Yeah. So I I was training at an F45 at that point, and they were like, would you want to work here? And I was like, yeah. And from there, like I fell in love with it. Like I loved that it was kind of a performance in a way because it's group fitness. Yeah. But it felt really nice to be doing a job where it wasn't about me and it was about someone else.
Yeah, helping people. Yeah. I've gotten a similar feeling. I don't even know if I've ever said this on the podcast before, but I'm doing my Pilates teacher training. I did a course and now I'm just going through my hours and kind of ticking them off. Reformer and Matt.
Amazing.
And that's what I found is during the training of like, there is sort of like this performance aspect to it of taking a class, but it's also like helping, I can see the effect I'm having on the people, whereas with acting, like you always want to affect people by, you know, what they're watching, but you don't really get to see it. Well, you do when you meet your fans, but like this was like an instant thing, and I was teaching my little class and I was like, oh, this is
it's like a special feeling.
Yeah, it's hitting something that I was like, okay, that feels nice. So
it's really fulfilling.
Yeah.
And I found with acting, it's sometimes felt selfish in a way because it was just like we're all in this room pretending to do something, then we go home and you don't really see the, the effect of it till months later unless you're in theatre, which that's what I love about theatre is that. Yeah. But even still, it's like people clapping for you.
Yeah.
Whereas what I love about fitness is like I see people maybe come in not on their best day, still showing up for themselves. And when they walk out that room, like they're a different person. And this sounds crazy to say, but like I think fitness changes people's lives. It changed mine. Mm-hmm. Every day I wake up and like even if I'm not feeling my best, if I go exercise, like I know for a fact I walk out of that room and I'm like, I'm good now. Like it's changed my mental health so much.
Wow.
So yeah, it all progressed and then eventually my husband and I moved to Brisbane. He was studying. I started working.
I forgot that. You did, yeah.
I lived in Brisbane for 3 years over COVID, which was a really nice timing for us.
Yes.
Hard because we couldn't come home, but I worked at a spin studio up there. Loved it, formed like a real community and was like, because of COVID, there was nothing being filmed and I was sort of forced to go, okay, let's do this full time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I actually think I love this just as much.
Yeah.
And it's a much less, I don't want to say hard industry, but acting is hard. Like not the actual act of it.
No, but like it's you have to have so much resilience. There's so much rejection in this industry, like auditioning for things and like the time that you put into it and you get nothing
and the
back.
Give back. Like
it can hurt so much.
Spending hours on a self-tape to be like, did they even watch that?
Yeah.
Like I just didn't want to do that anymore. Yeah. And I've always loved acting and loved performing, but I'm not one of those people, much less so than Dena, who like lives and breathes it and like she couldn't imagine herself doing anything else. Like for me, I was like, I love it, but like it's not my life. Yeah. I'm totally happy when I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. So I still like I have an agent. I'll audition for things I really love the idea of, but I think I really found my calling. Like I teach now at Barry's in South Yarra and MBA House in Richmond, and I genuinely like I wake up every day at 5 a.m, which I don't love, but I wake up and I'm like so excited.
Yeah.
Like I love my job. I love my life. I love the people I work with, like my clients and my best friends.
That's something that I see on your social channels, and what I've really loved is the community that you have built behind you, the friends that you have from doing like working at all these different places. Because from since meeting you 15, 16 years ago, it is genuinely the happiest I've seen you and with the most amount of friends and people who are just like always with you. And yeah, it's so nice to see.
So nice. Thanks, Leash.
Like you can see that you're glowing, and it's just when you speak about it, you've got this smile on your face.
Yeah, it lights me up. And I like sometimes I'm like, God, I'm so lucky that I've had 2 careers that both lit me up. And like, a life is a long time. Like I started when I was 7 and people were like, well, why did you stop acting? I was like, I did it for 23 years. Like I just wanted something else, and I think it's really hard what you were saying about when you identify as that to be like, it's okay to let it go. Like it doesn't define you. Like you're more than the actor, or like you can be really good at something else. And just because it's not like a special, career, like acting is seen as different and special. Like, for the first few years, I'd be like, I'm a fitness instructor. Like, like it didn't feel cool enough.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, bitches, I am the fitness instructor. Like it's my identity in a new way. And it's like, you can decide that you want to change your whole life. And the truth is no one cares. That's what I've learned. Yeah. We only care about what we're doing.
Yep.
No one gives a fuck what anyone else is doing. We're all way too self-obsessed.
Yeah.
And I look at you and I'm like, if you turned around tomorrow and be like, I'm a Pilates instructor now, like not for a moment would I be like, oh, that's a disappointment. You know what I mean? I'd be like, pop off that you found something else that you love.
It's hard. I don't think I will ever let go of acting. I think just because
you live and breathe it, you love it.
I've put so much into it that if I were to let it go, I just don't think I can.
Also, you're really good at it. Like
that's very sweet.
No, you are. You're genuinely a very, very good actress. And that's sometimes like with Gemma, I'm like, don't let it go because she's so good at performing.
Yeah.
Whereas like for me, I'm like, I'm fine, but like
you really good,
I was
Ari.
fine, but I'm much better like at fitness instructing. I'm like, I know I can be the best at this.
Right.
Whereas like with acting, I'm like, I ain't ever going to be Meryl Streep, you know? But you,
I would never be Meryl Streep.
You are very talented. So I understand like it's hard to go, I'm done, you know?
Yeah. And it's one of those things of having a dream, and I feel like I've just got to keep not letting it go, just keep changing the dream and making it different. Yeah. And I think I've said this before that I have so much fulfillment from being a mum, and I'm way less desperate for the acting world now, but I still very much want to work, and I love being on a set. And
there's just no reason that you won't. Like acting, especially TV and film, like there's no age limit either. Not that like you're getting old, like you look 15 still, but do you know what I mean? Like it's still going to be there. Like if you want to have another kid, if you want to.
That's it, yeah.
People can act their whole lives. There's always going to be there, and I don't think you have to.
Might be a little bit of Jackie Weaver and make my
I mean, I think Baby may have started too early. I think she started in her like 50s. You've already had.
Did she only start in her late 50s?
Okay, I totally guessed that. No one fact checked that. I have absolutely no idea. Sometimes I just say facts and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think life is too short to do what you think everyone else will think about you.
Yeah.
I pride myself, and like people can vouch for this, like I do not care what people think about me.
Yeah.
Like
that's
I care if people like me.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I have to go to bed at night and be like, I'm a good person.
Yeah.
But like if you don't like what I do or what I say, or because it's not what you think I should be.
Yeah.
Like I go to the shops in my pajamas every day. Like I just don't care.
Yeah.
And
I can see that with the amount of Crocs that you wear and own.
Should I show it? If you're watching at home, these are heeled Crocs.
They are heeled Crocs.
And if you'd like some Crocs sponsor, I've tried so hard to get a Crocs sponsorship, you don't even want to know.
Oh my.
But like,
I'm surprised that you and the Kaplan sisters, wait, does Gemma wear them as well?
No, Gemma's got class. No, I actually think she would.
No, I love a good Croc. I do love
Crocs are unbelievable.
They're
they
comfy.
are an underrated form of clothing, shoes.
I mean the heels, but also
I need heels.
at your wedding you had Crocs too. Let's talk about your beautiful husband Dean. How did you meet?
It's so
And we will
romantic.
come back to the Crocs. We will come back to the Crocs as well at your wedding, but please,
We probably need
Dean.
a Crocs episode, but we'll come back to that. Dean, I wish I had some beautiful story for you. We met on Tinder.
Yes.
Did you guys meet on a dating app?
No, we met in person.
real life?
It was kind of, it was
Boring.
a friend of a friend. It was a friend of a friend. So one of my girlfriends, Bianca, knew Zach, and that's how we met.
A nice way. Yeah, sometimes Dean and I are like, should we just make up like a really cool story? And I'm like, someone's going to find us out. You know, we've said it too many times.
Tinder. But do you know what? That's like, it's giving people who are on the dating
hope.
apps hope.
I think Tinder's a different place to what it was 9 years ago.
What, 9? Holy shit.
Yeah, we've been together a long time.
Wow.
8.5 now.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, he took a while to put a ring on it, but we got there.
You got there.
We got there. We met, I'd been living in London, planned to move back there, came home for Gemma's wedding, had downloaded Tinder in the UK because no one knew me there.
Mm-hmm.
So in Australia, I'd never use it because I was like, oh, you know, like you come across people you know, and Neighbours was still pretty recent then.
Yeah.
Not that like a lot of people watch Neighbours, but I just didn't want that conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was in Melbourne and my friend was on it and scrolling, and Dean came up, and he's a pretty attractive lad.
He's a gorgeous man.
He's a bit of a Ken doll, we like to call him.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh yeah, swipe is right. Like whichever the yes is. I was like, I'll never talk to him, but go for it. He's hot.
Yep.
And then he slid into my DMs or my Tinder DMs and he said something about like, oh, I was hoping for another Neighbours actress, but like you were my second choice, like trying to be smart.
Oh.
Little did he know that the actress he had said was my ex-boyfriend's mum. So like it was just the worst pickup line of all time. And thank God it was, because if he'd just been like, hey, I probably wouldn't have replied. But I was like, I just need you to know that this might be the worst line you've ever used in your life. And I had to tell you. And we started chatting and I was like, God, you seem really nice and normal for someone that attractive. I was like,
Is this real?
He's a catfish. And I was like, I'm moving back to London. Like,
Soz.
I'm happy to meet up with you. And but I was like, I'm wasting your time. He was like, let me just take you on a date.
Oh, bless. Yes.
And I was like, all right, well, we're going to a vegan restaurant because I'm vegan and he'd never been to one. Mm-hmm. So we went and I always say this and I sound like such an idiot, but like I saw him sitting there in this like denim shirt and I just went, oh, fuck. Because I was like, he's just.
And that
was it. We went on a date, amazing date. Got home, texted him like within 10 minutes. Again, just don't care what people think. I've got no game. No. I was like, I really like you. I'm moving back to London. I don't want to waste your time. I leave in like 3 weeks. If you want to catch up again for some funsies, but like it's not going to be anything. And he was like, wow, you're really forward. Sure, I would love to hang out one more time before you go. And we hung out and that date we both came home and separately, it obviously did not tell each other this for years, but came home and was like, I'm going to marry him.
Wow.
And he told his mum, he was like, I'm going to marry her.
Whoa, I got you.
I know. And then I didn't move to London and everyone was like, it's for Dean. And I was like, it's not. I just don't want to miss Gemma having babies and, you know.
And it totally was Dean.
100% for Dean. But I didn't want to say that in case like I looked crazy. Like we just met. And anyway, 7 years later, he proposed. We had the best wedding ever. Not that I'm biased. It was the best day of my life, without a doubt.
It looked like an absolute fairy tale.
It actually was.
Stunning.
Like I cry thinking about it because it was just, I'm one of those girls that has dreamt about her wedding her whole life. Like I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
And
I love that bitch.
And like embrace, a lot of bitches aren't that bitch. But like,
I'm not that bitch,
yes,
but I love that
You're too cool
bitch.
to be that girl.
I'm not.
No,
oh
you
my
are.
God. Dena is going to laugh so hard at you because I
Dena's
am
a
not
different type of cool.
At all. And she knows I am cool.
Dena's a different type of cool. Where
Dena?
Like Dena's cool, like, oh, I listen to techno and I don't.
Dena's cool.
Dena's cool.
Dena's cool.
But we're cool like.
We're cool.
I'm not cool.
I like how you're doing like these little cool hands. Like,
don't watch the video for that bit. No, you're cool in that like, I just feel like people would look at you and be like, oh, she's just got her shit together. Like she's just, and you wouldn't care about a wedding. And like, whereas I'm like, oh no, I spent 2 years planning from the moment I walked in that door to like when toilet breaks were, like everything was done.
Wait, stop.
Yeah.
You had toilet breaks scheduled in?
No, I had everything scheduled in.
Ari, I love you so
much.
much.
And I wasn't a bridezilla because I was so organized that there was no time to be a bridezilla. Like I was like, no, I've done it all.
Nothing was out of your control.
Nothing was except the weather. In the last week leading up, I was a bridezilla and I checked 4 a.m. every day. I was on every weather app. Like,
oh gosh.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't be that girl. You will be it. Everyone will be that girl anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, best day of my life, best man in the world.
Oh.
Like 9 years on, we've never had an argument. Like he's just, when people meet and they're like, where did you find them?
Yeah.
I'm like,
he is a very beautiful, lovely, sweet man.
he's a psychologist. Like
He gets it.
I'm his project, I say. He gets it.
No.
Is Zach a builder?
Zach is a builder, yes.
We
have
had
a
this discussion last
tradie.
night. I was like, I love you, Dean. Love that you're a psych. If I could pick any profession for my husband or partner, builder.
It's hot.
That's it.
It's hot.
You get a house.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. We're trying to buy a house. Very expensive. Get someone that can build you a house.
Also expensive.
Yeah, but at least he's doing the work.
He can do the work. Yeah, no, it's great. And now also he's a pool builder. And so we're going to pop a pool in the backyard. It's very good.
So you've done it right.
Yeah.
Do you think you want to get married or it's just not something you care about?
I don't know. Honestly, we don't really talk about it. I think like when we very first met, it was kind of like, yeah, we'll get married, we'll have babies. And then we had a baby and like haven't spoken
Doesn't
about
really feel
marriage
important
since.
after a baby, does it? Yeah.
I don't know. It's very strange. Like I think I'd love to have the big party in the day, but like we're connected in all of the senses. So we don't talk about it.
It's like you don't need it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're very much together now, whether you like it or not.
We've
You got
the baby.
You got the baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like some people, hate the idea of like all the attention being on them and like.
Oh no, I love that.
No,
too.
like me walking down the aisle, I was like, best moment. And then I looked at Dean and we've been together 8.5 years and he's never cried in that whole time. And he was a subbing.
That is the dream.
The dream. Because I said to him, if I walk down that aisle and you're not crying, I'm turning around and we're replaying until you do.
That's legitimately, Ari, we're the same person when it comes to that. I've always thought like if I get married and my husband ain't at the end of the aisle crying.
Sob.
It's not it.
It's not it. Sorry, call it off. And to be fair, apparently he started crying the second Maya started walking down the aisle. And I was like, so it wasn't even for me. Doesn't matter.
No.
The video looks like it was for me, and that's what matters.
It was all for you.
No,
it was the build up to seeing you. He knew you were coming.
He knew. Yeah. He knew this hearty alert.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, if anyone is getting married and everyone says to you it's the best day of your life and you're like, oh, it's a lot of pressure, it is.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever beat that. Maybe having a kid, I haven't done that. But that's feels
pretty
painful
special.
to get the best day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's a very strange thing because as soon as Isla was out, I was just like, I would do that 10 billion times over.
Really?
To get you, girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah. I think afterwards, and people for sure can have very like traumatic experiences and PTSD, and there's some shit that can go down. But it is once again like that hormonal and the brain thing. Like you forget the pain.
Well,
and
why would anyone have a second child if they didn't forget?
Exactly.
You know,
you get such a special gift at the end of that pain too.
It's a pretty good gift.
Yeah, it's a pretty great gift.
Did you know you were having a girl?
Yeah, we did a little gender reveal. We popped a
Cake balloon.
Yeah,
Love.
It was the best surprise of my
Did you
life.
want a girl? I feel like you would want to be a girl, mum.
It was a strange thing. I think like when I was growing up, I always was like, I think I'd love to have a boy first.
Really?
Yeah. And then I don't know, like when I fell pregnant, Zach was 100% sure that it was a girl. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But I had a little inkling. I was sort of like, I feel like it might be a girl. And either way, I genuinely would have been thrilled. I've just always wanted to be a mum. So that was I was just so excited at what was happening. And then I started to kind of think, I've seen, a lot of my friends who have younger brothers and younger sisters and how close they are. And I'm kind of like, oh gosh, it's just maybe having a sister as the oldest, like maybe that would be great. Like, I don't know. I just had all these different thoughts coming through. But I was like, but I've got an older brother and like that protective thing of like a younger sibling. It was such a weird thing. And then popped that balloon and we were just over the fucking moon. It was so exciting.
Well, she's literally perfect.
She is like, so perfect.
Do you ever go like, oh, how am I going to make another one that perfect? Because I think about this with Dena and Alex. I'm like good luck. Because you got the lottery with Maya.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that again?
I don't know. I mean, it's honestly, I haven't thought about. No, I just think it's possible. I think it's possible to have two of them.
Because it's like when you have two dogs, you love them both.
Exactly.
And they're different. And like Darcy and Emma, like Gemma's boys, I'm like.
Are so beautiful.
They're just so beautiful and so different. I guess it's
aren't they? Yeah.
I don't know about you and your siblings, but like Gemma, Dena and I like couldn't be more different. Yeah. And I think that's why our parents love us equally in different ways. Yeah. Like I think that
me and my brother are for sure so different.
Very different?
Yeah.
But
like similar in, of course you're going to be similar to your sibling.
And you got your morals and you're like, you're brought up the same way. But yeah, I mean, I was saying to Dena when she was like, can you do the podcast? I was like, Dena, if people are expecting your vibe, like I don't know if people have ever met more different humans than Dena and I.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like we might look similar, but we are like on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Different. Yeah.
But it's nice. Like it's, that's what makes family fun. I can't imagine having two sisters exactly like me.
Absolutely.
Boring.
No.
And on that note, we should probably wrap up this phenomenal
You guys can
chat.
have Dena back next week. And maybe I'll just start showing up.
I mean, maybe not. Let's not count it out yet because
continue.
the poo era, it's a whole thing.
Okay, well, if I'm back again, if Isla's not here, I'm not coming, just so we're clear. I want her right there on the
your
lap.
I'll see what I can do. But I do want to ask, because at the end of every episode, we always ask our guest if there is any homework or recommendations that you have that you've been reading or watching or doing or that you would have for our lovely listeners.
Okay, so recommendation. I'm going to be so real. I wish I was someone that read. I don't think I've read a book since high school.
Great.
When do people have time to read? I fall asleep, I'm
I used to love to read.
Yeah, I love the concept of it. But unlike the rest of my family, like my head hits the pillow and I'm like, peace out.
Bye.
I'm 10 hours good to go.
Oh, yeah. God, 10
Another
hours?
reason I can't have kids yet.
Wow.
But on that note, something I recommend, which I recently found out is not like a thing that everyone has, investing in good pajamas. So I am like, you don't need to be like me. I have maybe 85 sets of pajamas, but I threw a pajama. No, I have 2 drawers of pajamas. You don't even want to know.
Ari.
I don't spend money on any clothing, like activewear, like Lululemon and
I
pajamas.
get why you go to the supermarket in your pajamas.
Because I don't have anything else.
Of them. Yep.
Exactly. This is my only outfit. So I had a pajama party a few weeks ago and I was like, this is so easy for everyone. I'm being so nice. Yeah, I did.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
And it was at my house so that I'd never have to leave my house.
Absolutely.
And
also, where
was
was my invite?
It was Barry's staff.
Okay.
But you have come
All
to
right,
a
I
few
feel better.
classes, so you can really make the invite.
Yeah, thank you.
And everyone messaged, was like, oh, I don't have pajamas. Can I just wear my trackies? And I was like,
huh?
Sorry, what? They were like, well, I just I sleep naked or I sleep in like my boyfriend's shirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, absolutely not. You have missed out on a real joy in life. So everyone, actually don't know the website, but Boody, like BOODY pajamas, order a pair, DM me, tell me I've changed your life. Boody, let's do another collaboration. All I wear is Boody bamboo pajamas and you get into bed. Bed is my happy place anyway, but I literally lie there and I think, yeah, God is good. That's what life is about.
I got to get me some booty.
Yeah, booty is good in all ways. Do you have a recommendation?
Yes. So my recommendation, it's a little bit of homework for this week. I want everyone, you know what? No, I'm not going to give that this week. For this week, get into a hot room. Go do like an infrared sauna or a sauna of your choice, or go and do like a hot yoga or a hot Pilates or something like that. Do it because it feels so good when you come out.
Especially in this weather.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but when I come out of that hot Pilates class, because now I'm not going in there just to lose all of my fluid in my body.
Yes.
I'm actually going to enjoy it and feel stronger. It is bloody brilliant. Like I've never from any other workout have I ever gotten that buzz that people talk about where it's like you get the endorphin hit, rah, rah. And I'm like, well, I don't.
Actually, I hated it.
I feel sore and I have a headache, but coming out of hot Pilates, I can't, I'm buzzing. I feel good.
I love that.
So get in a hot room and do some working out.
I love a hot mat. I used to teach reformer and I don't love reformer as much, even though it's so good, but a hot mat Pilates.
Yeah. I agree. I'm a hot mat girl rather than a reformer.
Where do you go?
I go to a place in Eltham called Hot House.
Cute.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's probably a Core Plus. They're everywhere. They're so great.
Yeah.
But the gym I work at, MBR, House is just open, heated mat, yoga and Pilates. You should come. It is the most stunning studio you've ever seen, just around the corner from here.
Beautiful.
My homework, also on a similar note, is go to a workout class that scares you a little.
Yeah, which was me with Barry's.
And you made it.
I can't believe how much I ran in that, by the way.
You did so well.
I jogged. I didn't run, but
You didn't stop.
So much.
I mean, it was a lot of influences and you were leading the way, babe. So
no, I was not. Bless you.
No.
And that was very sweet of you,
Alicia,
but I was
you
not.
were. I think a lot of people stop themselves from doing things as adults because they're not sure that they'll be good enough or fit enough or strong enough. No one's watching. Go, give it a go. No one's watching. Everyone's dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get so many people that come into Barry's especially and they're like, oh, I'm scared. I don't think I can do it. And they walk out and they're like so proud of themselves. I want people to have that feeling. Like, I don't care what it is. You can come to my class if you want, but just go do something that scares you a little, even if it's not a workout class, so that you get that feeling because as adults, we don't do that a lot and we don't get that feeling of, God, I can actually do hard shit.
Yeah,
we're actually built for that.
Doing hard shit.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm just hard shit, you know? You can put that as the outro.
That's it. Ari, thank you so much for filling in for Dee and joining in on this podcast of ours.
Thank
Life
you for
Academy.
having me.
And we'll have you back, I am sure. I have no doubt.
Crocs episode.
Crocs episode.
Isla episode.
We did talk more about the Crocs.
Don't worry, I'm coming back for a whole Crocs collab.
We are. We're going to make this happen.
We're going to make it happen.
Team, I think the bell is about to ring. Class is ending. Thank you so much. We love ya.
Love you. Bye.